people keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer, but now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today we're going to be talking about a movie I have been waiting a long time to see. Well, 2 years. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. What this movie is about, it takes place just a short time after Chapter 2. After John Wick killed someone inside the Continental breaking the rules, he is now on the run, and in a short time, he is going to be excommunicado, which means everyone can hunt him down. And he is worth $14 million, so a lot of people are going to be after him. So what he's trying to do is he has a few tricks up his sleeve. He has a way that he thinks he can escape, and he's going to try it. He still has a few more tricks up his sleeve. This one's really easy. Did you like Chapter 1? Did you like Chapter 2? Did you like that there's this secrecy to this underworld of hitmen and of other assassins and criminals and everything else, and there's always something to learn, and you wonder where the gold coins come from and how the Continentals worked and all that stuff? Well, you're gonna get a lot more information in this one, and if you like the other two movies, you are gonna love this one. Whether it be for learning more about the underworld, whether it be just for the action, or if you just really like this character, I think, in my opinion, even though I like Keanu Reeves as an actor, this is my favorite role of his. And, and I loved him in stuff like Bill and Ted and other movies. But John Wick, with this character, he just seems to have found his iconic role. And what I really loved about this movie is, for 2 movies before this, they've been talking up John Wick like he's this legend. He's the Baba Yaga, the boogeyman, right? And though you saw that people respected his legend, people just would always go after him and they would try to fight him. He would, whoop their tails, but they would always go after him. What was cool about this movie was, in more than one instance, they kind of talk about his legend, and especially during fights. People would talk about, it's like, wow, it's John Wick. I'm fighting John Wick, And what was cool about it is there was, and this is just one example, but it happened multiple times. The main villain that he fights, played into this whole "you're a legend" thing, but one of his henchmen, and the actor will have to forgive me, I can never remember his name, but I always just call him Mad Dog because he was Mad Dog in The Raid, and he also played another character in The Raid 2, and that character, along with his partner, fight John Wick, and they're talking while they're fighting. They're like, wow, we're fighting John Wick, what an honor. And they're beating him up a little bit. Of course, they're double teaming him, but they're just talking about how legendary he is, and they're like, wow, he's getting kind of slow in his old age, but it's like, yeah, but it's still John Wick. And what's cool is the respect kind of goes both ways, because when John finally gets the upper hand, he respects them, and he does the whole see you later thing, where instead of killing them, which makes me hope that Mad Dog will be in the next chapter, because spoiler alert, there's gonna be another chapter. A lot of people thought this was just gonna be a trilogy. Nope. But yeah, just from the legendary standpoint of John Wick, I loved what they did, because you can tell he's got connections, not just in America, but throughout the world. And you kind of got the sense of that in part 2, when he went to Rome and they were asking him if he was going to kill the Pope. But John's plan involves him, where he had a mission he had to fulfill with a marker in part 2. John Wick has a marker of his own that gets him help within the movie from Halle Berry's character. And one thing I thought this movie was going to do, especially since they brought in someone like Halle Berry, I thought they were going to kind of phase out John Wick and move in new characters. And while they did move in some new characters, I was happy to see that this movie was still, and this series is still, just going to be about John Wick and his not so good life coming back to this whole assassin world. But I will have to say I liked Halle Berry's character. I liked what they did with her. And her character has 2 German Shepherds, and I love German Shepherds. And those of you that have seen the movie Stand By Me is gonna understand what I'm about to say. These 2 German Shepherds bring a whole new meaning to the term chopper sick balls. Just the way they help out in all the battles, or the battle that they fight in. But yeah, if you like the other movies, you're going to like what you get here. You're going to see that enemies can become friends and friends can become enemies, and there's all sorts of twists and turns in this. The action in this movie is phenomenal. If I had any gripe about the action, is that they went to the well a little too many times, or a few too many times, with the whole shoot them, I have to reload, and then shoot them again. They did it like 3 or 4 times. Minor complaint, because again, the action's just all over the place, and they're just dogs are attacking and jumping out of nowhere, and people are getting shot. And the movie, what's crazy is the first 2 movies were really gun based. About the first half of this movie, the first big action scene it involves blades, lots of blades, knives, axes, and other things like that. And there is a gunshot or 2 in these scenes, but it's more set up. They're in this like antique shop, this antique weapon shop, and Wick has to put together a gun, and he gets like 1 shot off, but then the rest are fighting with axes and knives that are in these cases, and it's really cool. So the action is everything and more that you want out of a John Wick movie. So you don't have to worry about the action. A lot of people thought this movie felt long. I wanted more. It's about 2:10, 2:11, I think. But I could have went for another half hour. But that's just me. I just love this kind of stuff, these kind of action movies, and I love this character. This movie, when it comes to advancing the story, you finally get to see who's behind the entire curtain. Some people were disappointed. I was just happy they didn't do something stupid with it. I mean, they could have went anywhere with it. It could have been like a computer behind everything, and it's not. I mean, it's a guy. There is always a guy. And so they show who's in charge, and John Wick finds him, and he's wanting to find this guy, and they keep asking him, are you going to kill him? He's like, no, I just want to talk to him. So with the way this movie goes, a lot of people thought he was going to die in the end. He doesn't. Big spoiler, he doesn't die in there, and there's going to be a part 4. And I'm happy about that, because with the way the story went, again, you have lots of different people playing lots of different sides, and I wasn't sure where they were going to go after this, especially since, he was facing off against the guy, or he was finally meeting the man behind everything. I mean, is there more secrets? See, the term, the subtitle of this movie is Parabellum, which is prepare for war. And that's what this movie is. Though there's a lot of fighting and stuff going on, this is only the beginning. And again, I liked where the story is going. The ending, it's pretty dire, but it's definitely a tease for another movie, and they have already confirmed that they're working on Chapter 4. Keanu Reeves has said, I will play this part as long as people want me to play it, please, forever. So, I love what they're doing with this. I love what they're doing with these movies, and I can't recommend it enough. If the first 2 didn't really do anything for you, this one probably isn't going to change your mind. But if you love the first 2 movies, you're going to love this one too. Another minor gripe I would have is that the movie didn't need a subtitle, but whatever. I mean, I would have just called it Chapter 3 since the other 2 don't have any subtitles. Who knows if they even planned on doing multiple ones at the first. And then another thing I need to gripe about, and again, it's a minor gripe, they made no mention of his car. That was kind of a big deal in the first 2. but they made no mention of the car. I'm sure it'll probably show up in Chapter 4. I mean, granted, it was a total wreck in Chapter 2, and then Chapter 3 takes place not a half hour after Chapter 2. So, I thought we might have gotten, like, John Leguizamo in the movie for a little bit, but he's not in it. But again, I love this movie. I can't recommend it enough. And I'm so happy that it's still living up to my expectations. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and you have anything to say about the John Wick series, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. See you later.